You can go.
Hi, we are Yusef, Ricardo, Teresa, and Marciala, and we're going to speak about the process accounting in McDonald's. Next slide, please. Okay, so first we're going to introduce McDonald's, and we're going to speak about McDonald's, then the cost drivers, the value chain, the cost control, the pricing, the product mix, the design, and at the end, the conclusion. Next slide, please. Next. Okay, so McDonald's. McDonald's Corporation is one of the largest American fast food chain in the world. The first McDonald's restaurant opened in 1948 by brothers Richard and Maurice McDonald. On average, a single McDonald's restaurant generates about 2.7 million a year in sales. McDonald's operates over 35,000 restaurants over all the world. And McDonald's does not make any of its products. It contracts with suppliers to meet this huge requirement. So next slide, please.
Okay, so McDonald's product mix. So in 1940, McDonald's offered a wide variety of products that customers could choose from. However, their service was not as efficient as they wanted it to be, and they knew they could do better. So in 1948, they saw that most of their income was coming from just 3 products, which were hamburgers, French fries, and Coke. So they decided to reduce their menu to just these products, and so they would be more efficient. Over the years, as the efficiency increased and the company grew bigger, McDonald's has been adding new products to their menu as we know it nowadays, but is still always offering the same homogeneous products in each order. Next, please. Okay, McDonald's design. So when Ray took over the company in 1961, he started to implement very important changes in the company, like the redesign of the logo with the 2 yellow arches, as we know it nowadays, and the introduction to a mascot, which is the well-known McDonald's clown. For McDonald's layout and design of the restaurants, they focus on practicality rather on commodity. It is the operation management team who is responsible for this area. The strategy involves maximizing space utilization in restaurants rather than focusing on comfort and spaciousness to reduce this type of costs as much as possible.
Okay, so job costing and process costing systems. Okay, so first we are going to introduce these 2 concepts to know it better. So job costing system is the cost of a unit or multiple units of a distinct product or service called a job. So an example could be a specialized machine made at Haiti for a construction project managed by Bechtel Corporation, for example. So each special machine made by Haiti is unique and distinct from other machines made at the plant. So that's why it has to be a job costing system, because it's like for each machine. Then we have a process costing system that the cost object is for masses of identical or similar units of a product or series, and in each period the process costing divides the total number of units produced to obtain a per unit cost. This per unit cost is the average unit cost that applies to each of the identical or similar units produced in that period. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, so the process costing in McDonald's. So in McDonald's, they produce identical masses of units. So therefore, it is unnecessary to assign cost to individual units of output. The key attributes that McDonald's has is that they are homogeneous products, that they are all the same in large quantities, and a continuous production. They don't stop working, they are continuous, and then their products are standardized. Next, please. Okay, so the cost drivers of McDonald's are the marketing cost, because globally known, McDonald's spent approximately $447.3 million on advertising worldwide this past 2019. Then the raw materials, because all the food and how they meet with the suppliers to have all the ingredients and the food to sell. And then the labor hours cost. The average wage for a McDonald's crew member is around $8.5 per hour, although there is significant regional variation and the median wage is higher. Okay, so you will probably wonder how McDonald's can keep prices so low while they take high profits. Okay, so McDonald's keep their prices low because the cost of labor is very low for them. Their inputs for food cost less, increasing their profits from each sale. They also use preservatives and keep their food frozen, so at the end of the day, they don't need to throw out all the food that isn't sold. So this is how they save money for the company. Okay, and the next slide, please. And cost allocation. Okay, so there are three ways of serving that represent the cost pools for McDonald's process costing system. For each of these pools, cost drivers are identified. So by utilizing the cost drivers, the identified managers are able to control the cost of activities involved in takeout service, aiding service, and drive-through services, which are distinct from each other. Okay, so next slide, please. That's it.
So now we will be talking about McDonald's value chain, which are the business activities that create value and competitive advantage. Next slide, please. So to begin with, inbound logistics. McDonald's is one of the most successful companies using vertical integration, which is a strategy whereby a company owns or controls its suppliers, distributors, or retail location to control its value chain. So by implementing this type of a strategy, McDonald's owns factories that produce several of the ingredients needed and that can be distributed to other stores by its own trucks. Evidently, this really works for them because they are a large volume buyer, meaning that they acquire supplies in bulk to get lower prices, which makes the vertical integrated supply chain the best feasible option. Given this, they are able to control the process, reduce its overall costs, and improve efficiencies and thus increase profits. In terms of operations, regarding the franchise itself, McDonald's operates a company-owned and franchised restaurants. Having said this, about 80% of McDonald's restaurants are owned and operated by independent franchises. Regarding operations, McDonald's invented a very different and more efficient fast food operation systems in comparison with other restaurants, changing the design of the whole restaurant kitchen. Instead of having lots of different equipment and stations to prepare a wide variety of food, the system allows the franchise to minimize cost by only having specific departments in their operations, increasing efficiency. Furthermore, McDonald's has always been aware of turning the company around to meet customer demands and trends through research and development. Given this, one of the first steps that it proposes in its operations has been to innovate the process of manufacturing and logistics. Next slide, please. Regarding outbound logistics, McDonald's restaurants operate in the following formats: sit-down restaurants, drive-through, and counter service outlets in food courts. The process of obtaining the meals in McDonald's is the conventional process of dining out in restaurants that involves a waiter or waitress taking order and delivering the food, in this case in less than 5 minutes. The company has been committed to providing the highest quality food and superior service at a great value in a clean and welcoming environment. It has accomplished this by working along with its employees, franchises, and suppliers to serve a balanced array of food choices by re-optimizing the menu and modernizing the customer experience. And in terms of marketing and sales, McDonald's restaurants are found in 119 countries and territories around the world and serve 58 million customers each day. McDonald's operates over 31,000 restaurants worldwide, employing more than 1.5 million people. In terms of marketing and advertising, McDonald's uses print and media advertising extensively in order to communicate its marketing message to the representatives of the target customer segment. And for example, the company's advertising budget in the US alone equaled $1.42 billion on average. Along with print and media advertising, this amount was spent on sales promotions, events, and experience and public relations. Next.
So cost control is an old concept, and large organizations usually have specialists to do this job. Since resources are costly, therefore, all goods companies try to eliminate the wastage of resources. The company has many smart people to realize that faster than others. This then leads McDonald's into developing cost control tools that will help the organization achieve its targets of cost control at every branch level in every country. So since profit is calculated by subtracting revenues from costs, any reduction in cost is going to inflate the profit figure. One of the ways the cost control personnel have been able to control costs in McDonald's is through the introduction of a drive-through window and by providing home delivery services. This saves McDonald's restaurant piles of money internationally. This motive behind using these schemes is to have the cost of serving customers at McDonald's own branches. If McDonald's serves a customer as its own branch, it involves very fixed and variable costs. Fixed costs include the cost of building and maintaining an eating place in the restaurant. So these increase the lease charges as the restaurant has to lease a larger place to accommodate customers. Also, other fixed costs could include the cost of building, repair staff, cleaner, and also increased number of personnel that are there to serve the customers. On the other hand, variable costs include the cost of cleaning dishes, the cost of sauces, lighting, and other activities that are provided to the customers to entertain them. So by opening smaller drive-through restaurants and by managing a system of delivering the food to customers' own place saves McDonald's a lot of money. Also, McDonald's have started using advances in technology to reduce costs. These includes surveillance cameras and the use of other devices to reduce employee and customer thefts.
So McDonald's pricing. McDonald's has been successful at employing cost leadership strategy by offering fast food meals at low prices. Its prices and costs have been kept low by hiring and training unexperienced employees instead of trained cooks and hiring only few training managers. By using price bundling with psychological pricing, the company offers meals and other product bundles for discount prices, establishing rates that appear to be significantly more affordable instead of running it off to the nearest dollar. Next slide, please. So a McDonald's aim is to use prices to maximize profit margins and sales volume. Despite the cost reduction, which is characteristic of standardization and vertical integration, as mentioned before, implementation of McDonald's prices is localized rather than globalized, meaning that McDonald's has different pricing for different countries. Each country and each franchise undergoes a strict process to determine the price for a particular market. The process is the following: selecting the price objective, determining demand, estimating cost, analyzing competitors' costs, offers, and prices, and selecting the final price. We need to take into consideration that arriving to the pricing decisions is the result of analyzing demand, cost, competitor pricing, a product's life cycle, and then balancing quality with value. Next slide, please. So conclusions. In the first place, we have the vertical integration, and McDonald's is the most fine example of how vertical integration can keep costs down and profits up. So for example, they grow their own beef through contracted producers, they process their own meat, they create their own spices, grow their own potatoes and vegetables through contracted producers, and transport their goods on their own. Furthermore, McDonald's owns the land in which the restaurants are situated on, so they don't have to deal with leases and landlords. One of the clear advantages to their supply chain system is that they have been able to manage the process, having an important control over its supply chain. On the other hand, we have the accounting systems. The accounting systems implemented by McDonald's provide updated information to make decisions based on concrete information rather than speculation. By identifying the cost drivers, accounting managers are able to analyze and try to better control the costs of the different sectors and activities of the company. This ensures an efficient decision-making process that will enable the company to minimize costs and maximize profits. Regarding capital decisions, during the decision-making process, McDonald's has been able to obtain strategic information that has helped the company to manage their costs in an effective way and develop new products that have facilitated the growth of the company. Capital decisions and cost allocations may vary because of the constant evaluation of its franchise's performance and restaurants and McDonald's cost control strategy. Finally, we think that McDonald's impressive success and results are the outcome of many strategic decisions it has implemented throughout its activities and operation systems. Having said this, we need to establish that its accounting process and approach are well coordinated with its strategies, mission statement, and overall objectives, constantly adapting to market conditions and changes. In consequence, McDonald's has successfully made its presence in the worldwide market, being one of the biggest fast food companies in history. Thank you very much.